back, everybody. Welcome back to yet another TapDaddyBeats stream. I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. And man, we got a very busy mixing session today. But yo, welcome on in. Welcome on in. I do have some announcements before we dive into this mix session in Ableton. I've got an album coming out in 7 days, 8 hours, 58 minutes, and 57 seconds. Yes, my new album, Nothing Is Real, is dropping on September 4th, Friday, September 4th, so next Friday. Oh, man, I can't believe it. It's like, man, I am exhausted. It is album cycle time, you know? I've been working on this album so much. I just can't believe it's almost time for it to come out, you know? Oh, man. So I dropped this new single from this album called Prismarine. That's what we're listening to right now. Definitely pre-save it. You know, it drops in 1 week. However, if you guys... Oh, shit. My screen is not updating. Thank you, Mrs. TapDaddyBeats. You even just told me before stream, make sure that your stream... Okay, let me fix this. I'm being very silly. Here we go. All right. Yeah, there we are. Okay, we're back into it. I should really expect this now. What's up, Chocolate? How's it going? He says sub tap. On vacation, still tapped in. Let's go. Hell yeah, dude. I hope you're having a good vacation, man. That's awesome. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know about my upcoming album and wanted to invite you guys to come get early access. It is out right now on Bandcamp, actually. I really like doing this for Bandcamp, but I just want to kind of explain this real quick before we dive into our mixing session. Yeah, Bandcamp, I really like the platform Bandcamp, okay? I think this is one of the best things for artists, you know? I think that they do the best job of supporting artists. So I like to do something a little bit extra for those that choose to listen to me on Bandcamp. I like to drop my EPs and projects a little bit early, usually 1 to 2 weeks early. So yeah, Nothing Is Real has been out for a little bit now, maybe a couple of days. But basically, I don't know, if you like the idea of getting projects early, all you have to do is go drop me a follow on my Bandcamp, and every time that I sneak drop something, you'll get an email from Bandcamp basically telling you that I released something with a little personalized message from me telling you about the project and all of that jazz, and it's kind of a message that people don't get to see outside of the Bandcamp crowd. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, go drop me a follow on Bandcamp and go listen to Nothing Is Real. It's out right now on Bandcamp. There's a link to my Bandcamp. But anyways, yeah, I see Chocolate says, yeah, man, I'm in Montreal, Quebec. Oh, hell yeah. French-speaking city in Canada. Hell yeah, dude. That's what's up. Hell yeah, that sounds like a good vacation. How's it going so far? You having a good time? Let's get into Ableton here. We'll start getting set up. So just a little overview of what we're trying to do today. I do have this one track, Blue Heron. Okay, some of you guys might remember that I dropped this on BeatStars a little while ago. Okay. It has since been updated. I did a little extra production work on it, and we're planning on dropping this on Spotify, you know, soon enough, after we drop Choose Your Character, which we mixed down last time. So we're going to mix down this track, and then I've got a BeatStars beat that we want to mix down, and then who knows? If we have enough time, we might make a beat. We'll see. But yeah, Chocolate says for the kids. Hey, fair enough, man. Fair enough. You're a good dad for taking them places, you know? All right. Let's give this our first listen through. And we're probably going to have to bring this down in volume. I just know it. And this is a little bit mixed down currently. We've got a little bit of parallel compression on the drums. We've got this nice little lift on this kick. Really, I just kind of need to slide this into place and master it, you know? Okay, we might have some work to do on this bass. What do we got on this guy? Oh yeah, we used our 610A preamp to kind of make this pluck melody a little bit brighter. It's kind of... I feel like I usually don't use this thing for much else than mastering, but this was a use case where it worked out pretty well. So this feels a little bit off to me with this like in our left ear. We'll have to kind of iron that out a little bit. But like the foundation feels pretty great. Like I like how the drums are hitting, I like how the bass is hitting. We might do a little bit of compression on that bass. And just kind of play with the gain staging a bit. But this is kind of the area that I think is gonna require the most work from us. I see that we've done a lot to this guy. I might have to make sure that all of this even makes sense for us to have on here. I see we've got some compression. We're running this through our guitar amp. We've got a little bit of tape processing on this. Then we throw it into this like room verb and we kind of gel it all together with this guy. And then we have some sidechain coming in from our drums. So I guess it does make sense. But it still doesn't feel balanced. And I think it's more of like at its core, volume wise and kind of spatially where it's sitting is not quite making the most sense, right? So let's do a couple of things. First of all, let's check our max peak value, positive 1.46, right? Let's, we're going to try to give ourselves 6 decibels of headroom. So we need to take everything down by 2 decibels, first of all, just to get it below peak. And let's see, 1, 2. Okay, so now it should be below 0. Now let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we should have 8 decibels of headroom here. Cool. So this is the new volume we're going to be working at for a little while. It's okay. Let's get some hot coffee. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, and I noticed we didn't take down our return tracks. We should take these down by 8 as well, since we took everything else down by 8. So we do have this return track with OTT, crystallizer, and these glue compressors. I think I was just using this for like one thing. I can't remember what though. Oh, it's this little intro riser. Okay, that's right. Interesting. Okay. Honestly, I think first of all, I want to just square away. I want to get some compression on the bass. Really, the reason why I am doing some compression on the bass is because sometimes, like, you know, different notes are just like a little bit more resonant than others, especially as we get down to like these bass notes. I've noticed that a little bit of compression kind of help mitigate that. Luckily, we don't have too much of a range, but I'm still going to just squeeze on it a little bit with this LA2A compressor. And then we'll reevaluate kind of like how we have this gain staged, right? So This is probably too much. We can... There we go. What's up, Jean-Marc? How you doing, man? Welcome on in, dude. How's your day been treating you, dude? Okay. And overall, I know that kind of changed how this was positioned. Not by too much, though. We were kind of compressing about as much as we were lifting this up. Really, all I'm worried about and listening for is like, is that kick bumping a good little bit above that bass, right? Like, I like to set my bass kind of up to that kick, but a little bit below it, maybe like 3 decibels below or something like that. And, you know, it just kind of helps that kick feel way more prominent, sticking out a good deal, you know, right above that kick. So... God, the drums almost feel too dry. We might have to apply some reverb to it. But yeah, Jean-Marc says, great, how about you? I'm chilling, man. I'm having a good day. I feel like any day I get to work on music is a good day. All right. Yeah, let's do something about how dry these drums feel. I might want to introduce a separate return track, and we'll do some reverb on that return track. Oops. Did not want to cut track. I wanted to insert return track. There we go. Cool. All right. So... the question is, what kind of reverb? Is it me or is the kick on the left? Ooh. That's actually a good question. Let's find out. That's like, now I'm questioning it. Now I'm like, is it? Well, there's a simple way to answer this. We can pull out an imager and throw that on our kick and just take a peek under the hood. You know, that's never a bad option. So, yeah, I think it's this guy. So then we can just slap an imager here and let's see. Yeah, that looks like dead center, actually. Yeah, I think we're good. But, you know, fair point, man. I feel like sometimes it's things like this that get kind of overlooked. Okay, so this return track, we're gonna have a little bit of, okay, so like Ableton's stock reverb works decently well for this. We could use something like M-Charm Verb though. I haven't used this in a while. Let's pull it out and just play with it. This is a free reverb. I actually quite like it. It's pretty versatile. So then, we've got this in a return track, and I'm just curious if we send a little bit of this off. So we're sending to C. Getting closer here. The question is though, is like, does it really gel with the rest of the mix though? Feels a little bit too much like an empty space. We can try, let's maybe just to have a little peek under the hood of like, what are we using on other instruments in terms of like, you see we're using this super plate, the gold foil super plate for the strings. What about for like our plucks? Is that just part of the plugin? Yeah. Really is kind of dealer's choice. We've got this. What kind of reverb do we have on? Oh yeah, we didn't use reverb on that. Could always use this guy. This guy is not a bad option. Okay. There we go. Maybe. I don't know. Here's what we'll do with this guy. We'll, well, this guy's already at 0. Okay. We might, like, kind of compress these reverbs. Hey, we got Signature. What's up, Signature? How's your day going, man? Welcome, welcome on in. Okay, here we go. I like this because we're kind of like compressing down on the actual drum hits themselves, but what's making its way through is a lot of this reverb, and we're lifting it, you know, in the gain here. So, but, I don't know, we might need to set this down a bit now. This feels good. I want to find this pluck melody. It's over here. So we've got, what do we got on here? We've got our 610 preamp. That's kind of cool. I like that. I'm thinking we're going to also compress on this guy. I want this to feel nice and vibrant. We're going to do this before we do this 610. The 610 preamp is doing a little bit of a high shelf lift. So it's kind of giving, you know, some nice brightness and air to this instrument. We don't want to compress that down, so we'll do that after the compression. Let's increase the reverb a bit. But yeah, Signature says, great, thanks. Hope yours is good. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, chilling, man, chilling. Yeah, this is gonna be a great track. I just gotta like set this down gently now. We're kind of increasing the reverb, we're compressing. Maybe a little bit less on that reverb. There we go, sounding good. Thank you, thank you. Oh, and I forgot that we also had this down here. So, yeah, and we kind of like tried to wash this guy out. So we just got to be kind of careful about how starkly different these are, you know, with any of the changes that we make up here. We should see maybe how this piano is going to feel with a little slight squeeze of compression. Maybe nothing too crazy, but if we could pull a little bit of vibrance out of it by just kind of squeezing on the dynamic of this piano a bit. Yeah, a little bit of squeezing here. This is feeling pretty good because basically what's happening here is we're making this extra fat and then we're doing our sidechain compression. So these kicks are... yeah, hitting nice. We got to be careful not to make all of the other elements feel small in comparison, right? So like, we're going to play around with kind of bringing this down and bringing it up a little bit. Okay, we're going to start kind of playing around with gain staging just overall. we'll lift that up a little bit as well. I don't know. Now I'm starting to feel like the plucks are sticking out. Okay. Never mind. We're pulling this back. Let's hear this meet up with the strings. Okay, this is where we gotta figure out what the hell we're doing with this guy. And we've also got this guy fed in over here. Oh, you know what I should do? Let's just sidechain the drums. Hey, we got Ethach. What's up, dude? He says, hey, it ain't Saturday. What's going on? Dude, I stream every Thursday, too. Did you not know that? Yeah, we do mix sessions every Thursday. So, right now I'm mixing down a track called Blue Heron that is going to be coming out in about 4 weeks. I think, well, not 4 weeks, 6 weeks on Spotify. Which hopefully will be good. Yeah, he's like, what? Dude, I've been here this whole time. But yeah, welcome on in, Ethach. I'm glad you found my Thursday streams, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, Thursday streams are largely mix days where I'm mixing down Spotify releases as well as BeatStars beats, and then sometimes I'm like all caught up on, you know, all of my mixing, and we end up making beats on Thursdays. But you know, it's kind of a toss-up. Today we've got 2 tracks that we're mixing down. This one's for Spotify, and then after this we've got a BeatStars beat that we're going to be mixing down. So I feel like we've got a pretty good mix session for us. If we have time, we might make a beat, but we'll see. He says, you ever get a chance to peep Sonic Cafe? I haven't yet. I'm so sorry. I've been like really, my weeks have been crazy because I'm like a week out from my album release and I've got this new job. So I'm like balancing these things. But yeah, I'm hoping to. I think I'll probably end up playing around with it. I need to find some time for a studio session off stream because, you know, just in case if like, I don't know, I know that it's software that you're developing, but like just in case if there's like an issue with the plugin or whatever, you know, it won't like crash a project, right? So I kind of want to like experiment with it first and then I'll probably bring it on stream, you know, if it all works out. And so, yeah, but I'm like super excited to check out what you've been cooking up. I need to find like some studio time outside of stream, basically, which has been kind of difficult to find as of lately. But I have managed to sneak in at least one night off stream where I've been cooking up, which, you know, less than I used to do, but also like I can't complain. I'm pretty happy with this new part-time job that I got. And you know, kind of the setup that we're with. But dude, that like seriously, congratulations on like making a plugin. That is like kudos to you, man. Holy shit, I'm excited to check it out. But yeah, he says it's all good, no rush. He says there's the slight chance it could be something crazy. I don't blame for being careful. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, hey man, I'm also a software guy, so I know. I bet you built this with care. You know, of course, I do this with all plugins, honestly, that I get, is I make sure that it works off stream before I pull something on stream, just in case if it crashes my computer and I'm like having a good stream. But I don't really have that issue with mini plugins. So, yeah, he says, I don't take it personal at all. Yeah. But damn, I am really excited because so you basically what you've created is a dynamic EQ, right? That's how I'm understanding your plugin. Am I understanding your plugin correctly? And you know, that's we've talked about this before, but that's something that is kind of like something that I kind of need in my wheelhouse that I currently lack. So I personally am quite excited to play around with it. Yeah, he says, I gotta get code signing, which sucks because it's spendy. And if you don't pay, Apple says can't verify. Oh shit! I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I've never published anything on Apple, so. But yeah, he says dynamic EQ with a spectral EQ. Okay, spectral needs work. Okay, so. Spectral EQ, is that like just a normal EQ? I understand the concept of like a dynamic EQ and that you're able to like kind of compress. But yeah, spectral, is that just like, you know, good old fashioned EQ8? All right, let's see. Like, I do like the concoction of this saxophone, you know, we have quite a bit going on here. And I say I tried to play with, like, swap. We could try mono. There's just too much built up in the center here. And I feel like middle would probably be the best option, but we gotta clear some of this stuff, and we gotta kind of decide though, because we've got a lot of this and this that we have going on through the whole track, right? How do we have these two balanced against each other? These two are kind of crowding middle. Except this guy's leaning a little bit left. If we can make this more of a slight lean right and pull this guy out a little further left. This is balanced. And then if we come in on middle over here. And now I think we just set it back in the mix. There we go. But yeah, Ethach. There we go. Ethach says, the cool thing is I got auto updating in app, so when I push new update, it's really easy for you to update, and it will have a change log too. Dude, that's so useful. Dude, I'm so glad. Now, I will say, be careful with that. Just in that, like, I'm curious about compatibility between projects. So, like, let's say that I make something with an old version of Sonic Cafe that, you know, and then I open a project file, like, maybe that, you know, maybe I open a project file like 4 years later and I have a completely different version of Sonic Cafe. Is it still gonna, I don't know. I imagine it'll probably work, right. I'm sure you're already on top of these things, but yeah. I've definitely had a few plugins give me issues with compatibility between versions, though. So, But yeah, he says it's kind of like a smart EQ. Essentially divides the bandwidth range into many tiny bands that automatically duck the specific loud frequencies. Oh, so kind of like Soothe. Is that what I'm understanding? Because I've seen people use Soothe all the time, and it's doing that, like ducking specific bandwidth ranges. Yeah, he says it's all within original bandwidth range of the band. Okay, interesting. Dude, that's super interesting. Damn. I feel like, dude, Ethatch, you might be building a super mega monster EQ that is gonna completely take over my mixes and replace EQ8. Now, yeah. Jean-Marc says that's so cool. Don't know if that's possible, but have you thought of also having saturation as an option in your plugin? That would be so dope, having everything EQ with the sauce, Ooh. So that would be kind of interesting, and that's where it starts to get more complicated, right? But like, I could see how that could be really useful, if we're doing like the dynamic EQ kind of stuff. But what if I could also kind of control like in what range it saturates? Like, that might be interesting. I don't know. Now you've got me thinking about shit. But yeah, that's a really, really cool idea. What the fuck, says Ethatch. Dude, I'm down with that. Honestly, I'm like, I think Jean is cooking over, or Jean, sorry, Jean-Marc. I feel like I've gotten so used to calling you Gina all these years. Or however long. But yeah. But yeah, he says, that's a really cool idea. What the fuck? Oh, something to consider. So far it carries over fine because the VST3 has consistent parameters, but I got to keep that in mind. Yeah, as long as you keep that in mind, because I feel like that's the only thing that really is why I'm so cautious about certain plugins, Like, there are plugins that I've gotten from companies that I just don't use because they've like crashed my project once, and I'm like, I just can't. If it's something that I'm like working for a client, like I can't take that chance. When it's like in my free time and I'm just goofing on a beat, like I'll totally branch out and experiment with new plugins. And then I usually adopt things into my normal kind of, what I use. I will say Purity, one of my favorite plugins, is kind of iffy. That one gives me problems. The only reason why I still use it though is because I love the sounds that are in it. I can't get away from it. I've built part of my sound around have the sounds in the Purity plugin, Yeah, he says, I also got a whole beta feedback thing going. Dude, that's awesome. It sounds like you are really building this a smart way, Sounds like you're really on top of it. I can't wait to dive into it and like play around with it. It's kind of cool just knowing, because like you've shown me this plugin in lots of various stages, right? It's like it's gonna be really fun to actually play around with it after having seen you building it for so long. All right, let's kind of bring it back to the beginning and kind of bring us through the track. Oh, before we do that, actually, I do want to hear this section one more time. Let's hear the lead into it. Damn. Okay, the delay on the end of this doesn't quite feel right. I think that there needs to be a delay on the source signal, and then maybe we need to increase the feedback on the end of that. Okay, let's get into it. Let's do it. So we're gonna automate a delay to turn on at the end of this, and we'll do this before the sidechain compression. And what is the rate of delay? The rate of delay is 4. Okay. Yeah, cool. We were right about that. And I think we want to turn this on over here. There we go. Okay. But yeah, this beat is sounding really nice. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm not quite hearing it on the sides here anymore. I mean, they're there, but we might even just turn up this delay track. Let's turn it up. There we go. But yeah, now I gotta read up on saturation. It's all your fault, Sean Mark. For real. Oh man, that would be such a cool update, man. Yeah, honestly, dude, I would say, you know, definitely make sure that what you've got is solid and everything that you want it to be. But also, like, yeah, I could totally see how adding saturation as a feature would be just so cool. It would be really, I don't know. Especially if we could apply the saturation in sections of the EQ range, you know, like apply heavily, saturate the mid range, you know, that'd be fucking crazy. Yeah. Ethach says, bro, I am so excited for your album. I just remembered. Thank you, man. Oh, let's go. And yo, Ethach, I will tell you a little secret. I do actually have it out right now on Bandcamp. I like to drop everything super early for people that listen on Bandcamp. So if you are curious, you can go listen on the Bandcamp, but it is dropping next Friday. I can't wait for it, man. I'll just drop it here for you and anybody else that might be interested, but no worries if not. But yeah, Bandcamp is like, I like to drop stuff early there, and I don't know. It's just kind of like, I like to pay it forward to people that, you know, listen on Bandcamp. But yeah, man, I just can't believe that it's almost out. Like, I've worked on this album for so long. It feels weird not working on this album. You know what I mean? Like, it really is a project that I started like at least a year ago. I made the title track, the opening track to it. And then since then, I kind of made a slew of like neo soul tracks, and I just started piling up, and it turned from like an EP into an album, and it just, oh my gosh, dude. I just can't wait for it to come out. We just dropped a single from it. It's called Prismarine, and it just came out last Friday. And then yeah, next Friday is gonna be the big day. The big day. All right, let's keep troubleshooting this section, kind of see where we're at, but I'm liking where we're heading with this. Huh. Okay, we might button down the hatches a little bit on the feedback. That's good though. Ooh, you know what I want to do? Here's something kind of silly. Okay, we used the 610 preamp to kind of do this high shelf lift on these string plucks, and I liked how that turned out. And it just sounded cool, you know? Yeah, the 610 here, and we used a 610 here. I was kind of thinking maybe on this return track where we have, you know, so basically we've got this return track here that has delay and reverb on it. What if we put a 610 preamp and we did a high shelf lift up top, like here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Ooh, that gives a little... Woo! Dude, I really like what that just did to the delays. It just kind of gives them a little bit of extra energy. Oh man. that was a clutch Bandcamp link. Thank you. I hope you enjoy Ethach. I really hope you enjoy this album. But yeah, is there a way to widen that sax? You know, honestly, I think this is gonna be mono. There is a way that we could use our imager tool to kind of like give it a little bit of width. I think I'm gonna opt to keep it super skinny and mono in the center because of how much we have just barely on the sides here. You know, we've got this we've got that just to the right. We've got this string in our left ear. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this is fitting snug in the middle right here. And then we, of course, the ping pong delays really add a lot of detail here. Ear candy that's touching on the outsides. Yeah, it's less thin. I gotcha. Yeah, on those delays. Yeah, it's because we added saturation. We added like harmonic content to it, basically. Oh man. Dude, this is so good. This is, yeah, I'm liking how this track is coming out. Let's run it back from the beginning and just kind of zoom out for a minute. And if there are any issues, let's let them come to us and just kind of see where we're at. We might be honing in on where it's time to master, you know? Oh, you know what? We do have some stuff in this intro that we could work on. I just want to like nudge up these birds a little bit. Or boost just a tad of the high of the sax. That's basically what we did with that 610. So the 610 preamp has this like mechanical, you know, a high shelf lift knob. And so we kind of turned that. And it like worked pretty nicely. That's honestly what kind of like it saturated a little bit, you know, with the 610 preamp, and then it has this like mechanical high shelf boost that you can turn on. So that's essentially what we did there. And it's like, oh man, it really just, you feel that little extra content in the highs. Yeah, I love this plugin, man. This is so good. I have been mostly only using this on my masters, right? But I haven't really played with these preamps on my just normal, you know, mixes. But yeah, Ethach says, yo, I have a question about using your beats for a project idea. Oh, absolutely, man. And, you know, I bet I could already answer some of your questions. If you go to my website here, I do have a lot of like, I have a whole collection here of beats available. Lots of beats available, hundreds of them. Anything on here is up for grabs, you know. Now there is a lot of stuff that we're taking off. Like we're probably going to be taking off Blue Heron, not gonna lie, when we release our project. You know, for the most part, we try to keep these separate from our Spotify releases. And every once in a while we'll poach a track, but for the most part, you know. But this is pretty much everything that I do have available for licensing and all of that, you know. So yeah, for anybody looking for my beats, and I've got a lot of bundle deals as well. If you're just like looking to snag a good deal, you know, we got lots of different like bundle deals for the different tiers. And I do a lot of sales too. I don't know, if you download one of these beats, it'll ask for your email, and basically I send out one email a week, usually just showing off a beat, but also announcing sales, you know, and I like to run sales as often as I can, you know. But anyways, for anybody that is trying to figure out how to use my beats and how to like get permissions to my beats, I have a whole website right here where I've got everything available. Everything that I do have available is right here, available with like stems and all of that. So yeah, boy, I am just ranting today, man. I am ranting. But yeah, Ethach says, well, I would be modding a radio station mod into Cyberpunk. Oh, interesting. Oh, I see. Yeah, and he says, and your beats would be so perfect for that. Oh, well, that's kind of different. Yeah, DM me about it. I'd love to hear more about what you're trying to do. Cyberpunk mod? Yeah. We might be able to make that happen. That'd be dope, man. Hell yeah. I got lots of beats. Yeah, Jean-Marc says, dang, that's dope. I agree. That does sound dope, man. Yeah, Ethach says, I like these streams because these topics don't seem to fit right during feedback streams. Yeah, honestly, our studio session streams are very relaxed. I don't know. Half of it is me actually like mixing, and half of it is just us ranting at each other, you know? But I think it's fun that way. I think it's entertaining. I don't know. I like to watch stuff like this personally because, you know, I just work on music all the time. But that's just me. I don't know. All right. Yeah, this section is sounding so solid. We were kind of working on these birds. Okay. Kind of bringing it up. God, I can't wait to master this. I like how tight the bass line and the drums feel on this, you know? This is like a perfect example of like when you let that kick peek out over the top of the bass a little bit, let that kick kind of peek its head up, and it just feels so much better. We might try to do a little bit of EQing. Let's just see what we're working with. Let's just pop the hood on the piano right here. See what's going on. So yeah, there's a lot of content here. We might even be able to carve out, you know, you can see like there might be some resonance here that are kind of important, so I'm not going to cut that. But I am going to cut, like, what is going on down here? We don't need any of that, right? And that could be getting in the way of our bass a bit. It's just kind of like, you know, removing any, like, unnecessary mud down there. And then, like, you know, I'm also thinking about, like, what are the important instruments that is kind of the center of attention. Probably, like, this pluck sound and these strings. Let's just see what we got going on here. So this is like right around the 1000 hertz area. What about this guy? Honestly, this guy's more elongated. We might, I don't know. Here's the real question, though. Is it's like we could start trying to make adjustments to this, trying to like carve out room, but I feel like we might not need any of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think we want to like take away harmonic content just for the sake of trying to gain clarity at this point. We're not having trouble hearing anything, right? But yeah, Jean-Marc says, yeah, and you tucked the sub of the kick under the bass. Yeah. So, like, you can kind of see we gave this a boost, this kick a boost at like about 1K or 100. And then the bass, let's take a look at that bass actually. Yeah, it's like the bass fits snugly right underneath that kick. They do kind of share a similar space, but we emphasize the top end of this kick basically right at 100, right above where that bass hits. Oops, it's like right over here. Dude, this is nice. Yeah. Do you EQ instruments with mid-side EQ sometimes? Yeah, sometimes they do. I find myself doing that a lot more when I have like a vocal on a track. Sometimes it kind of helps to like, for instruments that are near that, you know, like let's say I'm mixing a rap track, right? We've got a mono vocal as our main vocal, and sure, we've got a lot of ad-libs and additional layers, but we've got a main vocal that's pretty much mono in the center lane, hitting, you know, roughly at around 1000 hertz, right? That's kind of the scenario we find ourselves in with most rap music, right? What I'm doing there is I'm finding instruments that clash with the mono lane at around 1000 hertz, and I am trying to, I jump into mono mode, and I will kind of devalue it right around 1000 hertz. I just do a little dip around there. And sometimes I ask myself then, like, what about this instrument do I want to bring forward? You know, and it might be 1000 hertz, or it might be like, you know, an area right under that kind of hugs right under that in the 500 hertz area. And I might jump out to my my stereo EQ and kind of lift it up there. And we're kind of trying to create more presence, you know, on that, just outside of that center lane, right? If possible. You know, of course, if it's a mono instrument, we just need to find a different place for it than the center lane. But that's the thing though, is I feel like I don't have to resort to mid-side EQing so much if I'm just smart about where I place things in my track, right? And I think that that's the bigger thing is like, I don't know. I think when I first started to really learn how to mix, I like you might notice that I don't EQ a ton, okay? That's just kind of where I'm at right now with how I like to mix, okay? And it's partly because I have the liberty to only mix down things that I produce. And so where I like to solve problems in terms of like clashing EQs is I like to solve that at the sound selection phase, right? Where I'm only choosing instruments that sound that kind of fit together for the most part, right? And EQs kind of become corrective. And if there's nothing to correct, then you're pretty much good, right? Like you might not have to do a lot of EQing. And I feel like that's the thing though, is it feels weird though, especially when you're learning about mixing, that if you notice that you don't do something like EQing or whatnot, you might question it at first. And I think for me, I had to kind of come to terms with the fact of like, you know, like maybe you know, I think it's different for different people. Like a lot of people avoid compressors because they don't understand compressors. And I think it's like, you have to ask yourself, do I not use this thing because I don't understand it? Or do I not use this thing because I don't need it? Right. And it's like, I don't know. I think that I kind of had to do my own mental evaluation with EQs recently where I'm like, you have not been EQing like anything lately. What's going on there? And I really kind of had to do some self-reflection and go like, okay, well, we've EQ'd stuff in the past that worked out pretty nicely. Like, why haven't we? And it really is just like, I'm more focused on catching it in the production side right now. You know, that's kind of been my style lately. I'm not like carving out a lot of content. I do kind of like the feel of carving out, you know, pockets for instruments to fit in. But also if you don't need to, if they already fit together kind of nicely, like you've spaced them in such a way that they fit together, or like, you know, you just the natural selection of these instruments just fit the ranges nicely. You know, it's like, oh, we don't have to worry about it too much, you know? But yeah, sorry, that was a big rant. That was a philosophical mix rant for you guys. But yeah, Ethan just saying, you ever record tutorial or educational videos because you would cook? I'm trying, like, I don't know. I've definitely done cut down versions of these streams, you know, but that was just more for fun, and maybe I would explain a topic here and there, you know, maybe I would have like one of my rants in the videos, but I don't know, man. Ooh, a very long time ago, about 6 or 7 years ago, I used to do Ableton Live tutorials. But I was so much less knowledgeable about things back then, so I don't like to show them to many people. In fact, I think I deleted most of that channel. But, yeah. But yeah, Jean-Marc says, okay, it depends on the case. Using EQ to correct issues or using it for creative purposes. Yes, and I think both are valid. I think both are so valid. I've been kind of in love with this philosophy of just like trying to be better in the production side of things so that I do less in the mixing side of things. But I think also, like, yeah, there's obvious cases where you need to kind of be EQing a little bit. Like, we did EQ up. We wanted to accentuate this. This was kind of a creative EQ, to be honest. But it worked out in the mix because we accentuated it at the right part for where our bass was coming in, right? And I don't know. I think part of it as well is like how I feel out these situations is it's like, it's not like I'm choosing my kick and my bass necessarily all the time going like, these are going to fit together in the perfect range. And I've looked at their EQs and No, I'm just listening to stuff that I'm like, oh, I want a punchy kick. Oh, I want a subby bass, you know? But then, you know, when we get into the mixing side of things, that's when I pop under the hood and I see what we're working with and I fix it accordingly. You know, it might be that I do some EQing work like this where I like boost this up above where the bass is hitting, right? Or it might just be like a situation where they consume the same range and I really have to rely on my gain staging. I have to make sure that that kick is set above the bass, right? So it's like, I don't know. You just kind of feel out the situation. You look at what you analyze what you have going on and you just find a solution. There's 1,000 different solutions for every one problem. So, you know, stylistically, you know, a lot of mix engineers might approach different situations differently, you know. But anyways, this track is sounding great. I think we're pretty much at the point where we're gonna be going to the master, I think, soon. Let's just hear it though. Damn, this feels good. We're gonna really know if we did things right when we start to compress on this. I was explaining this in my feedback stream the other day to somebody that has been killing it on the production side of things and honestly is in better shape than I thought when it came to the mixing side of things, but just the master is where it all falls apart. And I was explaining to them how, you know, how to check your mix. And I think part of that process for me has been compression is the first thing that I do on the master and also where I learn the most about my mix. It's like we're pushing down on the ceiling and we're raising the floor and, you know, we're squishing the audio like a sponge. So what happens when we do that? It's like we're magnifying it, you know, we squeeze it a little bit and that the track gets magnified slightly. So any of the mistakes that you may have made kind of gets magnified, you know, like your loud parts are going to overwhelm your quiet parts. Your quiet parts are going to get buried and be lost, right? So you learn if it was a good mix or a bad mix, basically, when you start to squeeze on it with a compressor. But yeah, here, I want to just hear like this section real quick, and then I think we're ready for the master. Okay, man. I think we're good. I think we're ready to start the master chain. So, of course, this is the moment of truth. Let's pull out the Shadow Hills Master Compressor and see how well we did with this mix. All right, so here we are. We're going to enable sidechain. And we're going to take us to over here. Oh man, the discrete compressor feels pretty good here. This one's a compressor that has like a slow attack and like a fast release. And so it makes things feel nice and punchy and fat. Yeah, pretty UI on those compressors, I could never. Yeah, yo, Ethach, this is actually modeled after an actual compressor. So this is modeled after a physical device. So they're kind of working from a cheat sheet here. An actual Shadow Hills Master compressor, I looked up, it costs about $5,000 or $6,000. And this is modeled to work exactly like the hardware version does. So, I don't know. I love this thing so much. This is one of my favorite compressors. Boy, I'm getting away with a lot of compression here. I guess I'm just asking myself, is it a good idea? This is a very compressed track. Okay, not like insanely smashed. It's just, this is like maybe more than I usually do. More on the discrete than I usually do. But yeah, Ethach says UI is so difficult on these compressors because it's so easy to just consume all CPU on UI. Surprisingly interesting. But yeah, Jean-Marc says I love how the strings, piano, plucks, sax almost feel like they have been recorded over a sampled beat. Yeah, you know, and a lot of this is sampled, right? But yeah, definitely how we treat it though makes it feel like it all belongs to one sample material, like one sample source is I guess what you're saying. I know, it's kind of wild. That's kind of what I strive for. You know, when I used to I feel like this actually made me a pretty strong producer, was back when I was like chopping vinyl, you know, and I've made hundreds of beats where I was chopping vinyl. I would make one every day, publish it. But I think a big challenge was, you know, I kind of figured out like what I was really drawn to in terms of like sample material. And largely what I was drawn to was, you know, in terms of like period of time, genre, geographically, I would say 1970s Japanese jazz really piqued my interest. So I was sampling a lot of stuff like that. And also bossa nova music, you know, lots of stuff from like Brazil. And about the same time period, about 1970s, right? So it's like, and they have very distinguished sounds. So how you produce something and how you mix something, like, it's kind of precarious. Your goal is to blend in the sample material, right? Your goal is to, like, you can't see me. You're not going to know that these strings, like the strings on this track, are actually MIDI. You would never guess that. Like that cello in the background, that's a MIDI. Nobody would guess that, right? But I feel like that it kind of made me like so much of a better producer, because I was, you know, trying to reach certain heights, right? So yeah, we do have this compressed quite a bit, but I like it. Okay, so now let's move on. Let's try, and this is where I think this might screw up kind of what we got going on with like our bass and our kick, but let's try a little bit of Oxide tape recorder. This is definitely going to make the bass sound beefy, but let's just find out what it's going to be like. Yeah, I'm thinking this time around we skip on the Oxide. It's just too much. Yeah, it's just way too much. So, the next thing that I usually like to try is a little bit of saturation. So we're going to use Little Radiator. Oh, this is going to work nicely. Let's turn off the noise. Oh, this one's handling saturation pretty well. Damn, this really makes that like mid-range feel so vibrant. Like the piano sample in the background is so vibrant. You know, one thing that we need to do that I haven't done, and I'm kind of surprised that I haven't yet, we need to do a save as. Let's listen to this track through while we do this. But yeah, save as. Mix V2. This is Blue Heron V2 mix. Actually, no, mix V1. Mix V1 of the V2 version of Blue Heron. There we go. track is so good. I'm very pleased with this song. Like, damn. Oh man, I hope this does really well on Spotify. You know, this one is kind of different in that, like, so my wife really likes this one, and I feel like whenever she chooses a track and is like, I like this one, it always does really well on platforms, especially if it's a track that I'm like, I like this one better. If she chooses a track and is like, no, I like this one better, it always does well. It always does incredibly well. Now, this one, though, we both like, but she actually asked me to add a little bit extra to it, you know, do a little bit of extra production work on it, get it all spiffied up for Spotify. And I was like, hell yeah, absolutely. So I'm like superstitious. I'm like, yeah, if this is one that she likes, then it's probably going to do numbers. But yeah, Jean-Marc saying the crash symbol at the intro sounds weird now. Let's hear it. Yeah. That kind of sounds like it's always sounded. I'm trying to think where it may have gotten off, though, in your ear. Is it the compression? You know, I will say this. The sidechain on the riser sounds more extreme with the compressor on, you know? And you might actually be onto something, man. Like, this is with compressor. Yeah, it's just a little too much sidechain. So what I'm thinking is I like the amount of compression that is on this master, but you did kind of uncover a slight issue here, right? So I think maybe one way that we could correct this is maybe have less sidechain going on. So let's turn off one of these. If you guys are curious why I double up on my sidechain compressors, it's because I run out of ratio. And so to get more ratio, I add another compressor and we basically dig even deeper. So let's hear this. That feels a little bit better. I'm curious, what if we got rid of both of the side chains and we had it unchained? You know what? That sounds the best to me. At first, I thought it would be interesting to kind of like sidechain it and tuck it into those kicks, but I feel like that is sounding just kind of weird, you know? I think that having it completely unchained sounds the best. Because we still get some sidechain from the master chain compressor, you know, So thank you, Jean-Marc. I appreciate it, man. I'm like, you were right. It was definitely the compression. Okay, so now I want to add that 610 preamp, right? And I'm curious how this is going to go because we've added that 610 preamp to like two instruments in here. It was the string plucks and the delay reverbs on the saxophone for the bridge section. We'll see if it's like too much on those, but we're gonna do the same high shelf lift using the 610A preamp. So let's try this. And oh yeah, this sounds more vibrant. Dude, this snare sounds so good. I feel like this kind of affected the snare, but in a way that it kind of cracks a little bit more now. Oh, this is sounding so beautiful. Dude, this is so good. Oh man. Okay, I think we like it. Let's hear the intro, make sure that the birds aren't too extreme with this high shelf. This is sounding good. Okay, let's run it through. Let's get our max peak value. And then we're gonna start limiting. I'm gonna have this in my head for like the rest of the week. Yeah, that melody is hypnotic. Hell yeah, man. I agree. In the best of ways, that melody is hypnotic. For sure. All right, it looks like our max peak was minus 4.86. Not bad. pretty damn good. We're gonna go ahead and slap down a utility just to increase, give us a gain knob to increase it by, we'll do 4.86. And then we're going to just slap down a limiter to catch anything that might step its toe over the line. There we are. Cool. We'll go true peak. And let's see. And now we're going to pull out Ozone, and we're going to use its maximizer and its EQ. This is our last chance for EQing. We'll let it run its nonsense, but we'll probably adjust everything. So, as we always do. All right. Loudness warning. This might jump up in volume. Just letting you guys know. This is going to be a good deal louder. This is way too much of a lift. Amazing beat as always. Thank you, man. Now I'm just kind of questioning if that snare is a little bit too much, but I think it's fine. But I gotta make a decision here. We might nudge it down 1 decibel, I think. We're just gonna take this snare. Let's just take it down a little bit. Bring it down a little bit. There we go. I think this is fine. But yeah, I see Ethedge says, one thing I want to do with EQ is give it an assistant that can give you starter mix for mastering and mixing like AI. I just don't got the slightest idea. Fair enough. You see, to me, that's a feature that I would completely gloss over. I'm not going to lie. I feel like, and it's just because, I'm somebody that I've mixed for a very long time, like I kind of know where I'm trying to go with mixes. So like an AI assistant doesn't quite really solve any problems for me. I'm curious though, if like, I'm probably not the intended audience for a tool like that, like I imagine that maybe for somebody that's trying to learn the ropes of mixing, and if they can have something kind of generate and get them started, get them closer to a result than where they started, that might help. But I don't know. Honestly, I feel like for me, it's like I like building it, because if I know how I built it, I know how I can kind of like exploit it and get the best sound out of it. But I don't know. You should, instead of an AI assistant, just bring back Clippy. Just throw a Clippy in there that's like, got questions? I can help you out. I'd be totally down for that. we need to start measuring our LUFs. Let's pull out Ulean. Let's run it and see kind of where we're at. But yeah, he says, OMG, Clippy and Ableton. Yo, I would love to cook beats with Clippy. Like, instead of having this little info view, what if you just had like a Clippy and he just had the same information? But it's like, so the target LUFs is going to be minus 10.5. I don't think we're going to get there, but we're not too far off. We're only like 1 LUFs off. But yeah, Jean-Marc says, to be honest, most plugins analyze your track and pull a preset down. Basically, I feel that the AI part is just preset shuffling. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't noticed that with any of my plugins. For the most part, the presets are laid out the same that they always have. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that might kind of bug me if my presets are shuffling around, because I build a mental map of where everything is at, you know? When I like kind of 2 systems for navigating presets. I like having a favorite system, and I like just being able to memorize a menu of presets and know like kind of where the instruments are. But if things keep shifting around on me, I might be like, what the fuck, you know? All right, minus 11.4. That is not bad. I think really what we need to do now is pull back on this guy and see what we can get away with. Let's do like 1 decibel of difference. Let's run it again. And we're listening for artifacts too. Anything that's going to be kind of crunched and clipped and screwed up. Signature. I think we're gonna get there on this one. Yeah, minus 10.5. Let's just see if it stays there. really stuck the landing on this one. Holy shit. I really like how this one turned out. Damn. Is it minus 10.4 or minus 10.5? Minus 10.4, we'll take it. We'll take it. That is a good one. Damn. Okay. Wow. So that's going to be coming out on Spotify in, let's see, Nothing Is Real drops in 1 week. About 1 week, 8 days. And then 2 weeks after that, so 3 weeks total, we've got Choose Your Character coming out. And then 2 weeks after that, so 5 weeks total, we've got Blue Heron coming out. I think what's so fun about doing all of this on stream is who knows how big some of these tracks might get, but you guys get to see it all get made, and I just think that is just so cool, you know? But yeah, Signature says that bass. Oh, I know, right? The bass on this one, I can't wait to test this in the car. I bet it's going to sound amazing, you know? Yeah. And I see Jean-Marc saying, I mean, the plugins needs a bunch of presets first. Listen to your track and pick a preset in his bank within your track level, low, mid, high. Yeah, exactly. I like to kind of like build a mental map, right? Where like I kind of know certain libraries, have a lot of sounds that I like, if it's like a plugin with a lot of different sound, like Purity has a ton, but they have like a bunch of different menus of sounds, right? And I don't know. I like to kind of memorize plugins, I also really enjoy favorite systems. Like I've been using in Analog Labs. I've been liking the presets that I jump to a lot, and therefore, when I'm trying to pull out instruments, I sometimes find myself looking through my liked presets, which is very smart. I think I'm working smarter, not harder, in that regard. All right, we have another track that we are trying to get to today. Let's see. This one, song 1166. I think this is one that we made recently. Let's get this loading up and we'll see. All right. I think I might also grab a little bit more coffee and before this next mix. So yeah, while I'm grabbing coffee though, of course, Nothing Is Real comes out in 7 days, 7 hours, and 15 minutes and 21 seconds. So yeah, and I just dropped this new single, Prismarine. Just dropped this last Friday. So I'll play this for you guys while I go grab some coffee. I'll be like 2 seconds, and then we're gonna dive into mixing this this beat. I'll be right back. There we go. hot coffee. Let's go. All right. And let's check out this beat that we're about to mix down. Yeah, I believe that this is what I'm going to be dropping on BeatStars shortly. Either this week or next week. So let's, or next week or the week after. My time is all screwed up. Anyways, let's give this a listen and kind of see what we're working with. Oh shit, there's something that's screwed up here. I gotta, okay. I see. This is one that I think we didn't mix down previously because some of the presets got screwed up. You see, I had used something in the golden era hip hop sound bank, right? Before I purchased the preset pack. And when I loaded up the project next, it deselected all of the preset selections that I made. So I don't know exactly what it was, although I kind of know. I think it was this blue note. Or was it gold vibraphone? And then this guy is also different. Let me, I gotta pull up. Yeah, MF Doom. I know they have an MF Doom mask as part of the artwork. How weird is that? I was like, huh. I know it piqued my interest as well. So I looked into it, found some cool presets in there, and decided to buy it. It's like $10 for a little, I think it comes with like 60 some odd sounds or whatever. But not bad, man. Not bad. Let me pull up the demo, and I know you guys aren't going to be able to hear this, but I just need to confirm what was what sounds. All right, let's see. Let me we are doing song 1166. Oh, okay. I hear. I'll be able to tell this isn't the right sound for this instrument. It's more of like this grainy kind of sound. It's not, was it this blue note? No, something's screwy here. Gosh, what did I... Oh, this is it. Donut Celeste. And then I just need to figure out this guy, and then we should be good. But yeah, Ethach says, question, what is your favorite soft drink? Probably Baja Splash Mountain Dew, honestly. Yeah. Dude, cause it's like I get that every time that I get Taco Bell, which is not very often. But not too long ago, there was like a crazy sale going on, like a 36 pack of Baja Blast Mountain Dew, and I bought it and was like, damn, like I don't know, that is such a goated Flavor of Mountain Dew. Like, they really knocked it out of the park with Baja Splash. That's hands down my favorite soft drink. I don't know. What's yours? Let's see. I got to refer back to the demo and see what's going on over here. I think I know which one it is. Yeah, it should be the vibraphone. Okay, I see. See, we can save it. All right. Yeah, let me fix this. We're going to save it. Golden vibraphone. Yeah, there we go. Is there anything else? Is it this guy? Screwy? No, this is Lost Soul. There we go. What about this over here? Oh, this is one that's screwy as well. So this is screwed up. I gotta figure out what instrument this is. So let me refer back to the demo here. Okay, so this is like some sort of electric piano. Maybe it's that other one that we liked. That we had in our liked. Oh, let me go back to the pack. Was it Blue Note? Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me go to we'll do type bass and we'll do the electric pianos. We'll try and see if it's one of those electric pianos. I just gotta kind of match up. Okay, so it might be these. Oh, this is an interesting one. Oh, it might actually be these soft keys. It's close. It's close. It's just quieter. Oh, it might be this tape. Okay, I think I just gotta choose one of these basically. Oh, sorry, kind of tedious fixing this project file. Old Soul sounds interesting. I think it was neo keys or soft keys. I think it's neo keys. We'll use these. All right. Well, now we should probably kind of look towards what is our max peak value here. Looks like it's, yeah, we're gonna start to bring this down in volume and get into the mix. First things first though, we're gonna save this track. Let's listen while we do, and then we'll do a save as and start our mix V1. Yeah, got to love it when Ghost in the Machine scramble your flow. Yeah, absolutely. It's just because I used some of these presses. I didn't realize it was going to do this. I used some presets, and when I loaded it up next, it didn't save which preset I chose. And it's because I didn't buy the pack, which is so dumb. If I had known that, I wouldn't have made this song with using the presets in that pack. But I bought the pack. I have it now. It should be fine. Like, we're good. Man, this track is so ethereal and dreamy. I like it. I'll have to figure out exactly how I'm dropping this beat. Am I gonna call it like a J Dilla type? I don't know. It doesn't quite sound like J Dilla either. Sounds like maybe something that Nujabes and J Dilla could have cooked up together, but it doesn't really sound like either of them either, you know? I'm not sure. I'll just call it a Freddie Gibbs type beat. Everything's a Freddie Gibbs type beat. Okay, so we're going to take everything. It looks like our max peak is 2.12. We're going to take everything and turn it way down. We're going to say, oops, let me undo that. We go 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3. So now we're under 0, 3, 4, 5. Cool. We should have plenty of headroom now. So yeah, if you need to turn your volume up, I'd recommend it. I'm turning my volume up. But yeah, loved the first track of Nothing Is Real. The E-piano sound like whiles after process. Interesting. I'm not familiar. Yeah. But hell yeah, dude. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hell yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, that first track I made in one 7-hour session. I just sat down through it. And then I made I gathered the album artwork after that, not really knowing what I wanted to do with the project. It just kind of grew from there, you know? But yeah, that electric piano on that first track is me riffing. All right, let's start diving into it bit by bit. We've got these drums here. I think we might do a little bit of compression. Also, this guy I think can come down, this high open hat. I feel like some of these feel a little bit awkward. Like if I nudge this forward a bit. Yeah, let's get these all straightened out, and then we'll straighten the rest of it out. The timing of this is kind of weird. It's probably not the wisest to be doing too much, but like this is the chance to. Is LeBron the GOAT or MJ or who else? I don't follow basketball too much, honestly. But yeah, Jean-Marc says, sorry, whistles after process. Sounds like whistles after process. Interesting. Yeah, I can't say I'm familiar, but I'll take that as high praise. Yeah, Jokic makes a strong case for the most impactful player. Hell yeah. Okay, this one feels awkward. Yeah, that just needs to be slid into place there. I can't believe I was so sloppy with these drums when I made this track. Turn that guy up a bit. Okay, there we go. And we're going to place that down there and kind of figure out where that was at. I think it was like here. Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, Jean-Marc says, it'll sound weird, but to me, Alien Iverson is way better. What that man did with his size is on another level. See, I'm completely out of the loop. All right, let's carry these over. Okay, this should be much better. Okay, let's hear this. All right, I think it's time to really dive in on the drums. I mean, we just did in terms of the MIDI and how that was laid out, but now it's time to dive into the mix of the drums. We should probably go ahead and do a little save as. Oh, and I see our tempo here, 82.5. Okay, we got to fix something real quick and pray that this doesn't break anything. Okay, that's warped. These are warped. That's going to be fine. I think everything's going to be okay if we switch it to, let's say, 83. There we go. Yeah, this all seems to be fitting nicely. Okay, so let's do a little save as. Live set. Or actually, we'll do a save real quick, and then we're gonna dive in with the save as. Okay. And mix V1. There we are. Hell yeah. Okay, so I think we're ready to dive in with this, and I want to just try something off the bat. I don't think we're gonna go this direction, but let's just see what this sounds like. Now, I don't think this is gonna be the call for this track. I think instead, we're gonna probably play around with some compression and maybe a bit of decapitator. Let's try decapitator. Decapitator, I hardly know. Okay, maybe a little bit of this. I don't know though. It kind of makes it feel too dirty. Let's try a little bit of compression. We might try this in parallel. Okay, so yeah, I think we're gonna probably try this in parallel. There we go. Okay, cool. And then we're probably going to do that trick where we're going to send it to this return track with this reverb on it. Might even do some compression after. Gosh. Just some gentle ambience in the background. Like, we want to keep it pretty low on the ground. Ooh, that fills the background very nicely. Okay. Okay, so now we can kind of get in with some of these other details. Let's figure out our key bass here. We're going to definitely compress. Okay, let's pull out an EQ on our drums and our bass and see kind of what's going on here. So yeah, definitely down in this subby range, and it does look like we have a lot going down here. This is kind of one of those where it's like, I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to just tuck this, because that is the kick. Maybe a little bit of this can kind of help mitigate. But we're gonna have to rely on just like the gain staging, you know, to make sure that that bass kind of sticks out. But yeah, Ethat, you're heading out. Hey, thanks for popping in, dude. It's always good to see you. I'm glad you know about our Thursday streams now. Well, yeah, welcome to Thursday streams, dude. Anyways, you have a good one, man. Thanks for popping in. I'll definitely check out your plugin later. I'm eager to dive into it, man. Okay. Honestly, this kick does have enough mid-range to it. It's just got this fat, which actually is kind of important. I'm not sure if I want to clamp on that. Might even need to push it up a bit. I'm just trying to really think about how we're going to get this bass and this kick to be in agreement. Okay, this I think boosting this so that it juts out over the kick is gonna be the best solution. We're gonna definitely have a lot of buildup down there. So maybe on the master we're gonna kind of clamp on the low end a bit. We'll decide by how much though when we get there. Here we go. Getting there. Oh, and I think I want to remove, there's like a pickup kick over here that, let's just get rid of that. There we go. We'll have to see if we have one over here. Yeah, let's get rid of that pickup kick. Where else we got one? Maybe over here. Yeah. So let's get rid of that guy. And then one more over here. I don't know though, that kind of the pickup to the bass note maybe. Is the kick in a sample? No, so the kick, well technically all of these one shots came from a sample. So like I chopped apart a drum break and made a whole kit out of it basically. So in a way, yes. In a way, yes, but we are working with one shots here. I think we need to just get rid of that pickup. I don't know if we want to actually boost so much though. Yeah, what we might do is we'll get rid of this guy and we'll just go into the kick sample. You see, that's just where we get the power. I think it's kind of important for it to stick out above that bass. We just don't want to overwhelm it. But yeah, switch the kick to simpler and use filter. Oh, we've pretty much got simpler in here. You were saying like filter to, yeah, basically EQ it. I mean, I can do the same thing by just doing this, right? I've pretty much got all of the capability I need. Here we go. But yeah, right click on sampler. Yeah, like what were you looking for? But honestly, I think I'm pretty happy with the amount of control I have over it. We should probably start focusing on some of these other elements. Okay, I like these trumpets. We might even do something kind of like we did in that last track where we're using the 610 to kind of like brighten and crisp up some details. I think we might do that on this little trumpet flare. Let's use the 610A preset. This is kind of an element of EQing here where we're basically doing a high shelf lift. So we're gonna twist that knob. Okay, now we're starting to get some saturation on it. We're gonna back off on the saturation. Yeah, I'm not sure actually if this is gonna be the right call, because I don't like how it's hitting. Oh, Jean-Marc was saying I was looking for a way to have ASDR controls. Yeah. Or ADSR. So basically, I think what you can do is we do have fade in, fade out. So that's at least like attack and release, you know? And then in terms of like delay and anything like that, we can just drag and drop in this area right here any tool that we might need, any plugin, to kind of help, you know, shape it however we need. I like drum racks in Ableton. They're like super flexible, you know? So it's like, yeah, you kind of do have simpler controls in here. Maybe you don't have everything that you might have in an independent simpler well, you do have the ability to slice one shot in classic mode. So this essentially is simpler, built into, you know, the Ableton drum rack, which I think is pretty nifty. So yeah, we do have all of those controls. You might even be familiar if like we go over to slice, there's, you know, it kind of switches controls. And then classic, we have, you know, like a lot of like fade options and looping options. But for this, we're using just the classic, you know, just one shot mode and simpler. So yeah, I think we're actually gonna not use this 610 on the trumpet. Instead, what we might do is just do a little EQ ourselves, kind of lifting the brighter area space. Yeah, this. Yeah, we want to go a little bit above the 1K area. Just kind of lift these guys. There we go. And I think these guys, I like the delay and like the atmosphere that this is providing. We're going to kind of slightly compress this to kind of help pull more of the atmosphere that it's generating forward. So basically we clamp on the heads of the notes a little bit more. Then we've got our golden vibraphone. This, we might play around with this, like adding a little bit of the reverb. Oh, that gels with the mix nicely. I like a lot of the reverbs that come built into Analog Lab, you know? Lift some of that treble maybe. Okay, and we got this piano. We're gonna slightly compress this guy a bit. Nice. This is starting to sound nice and vibrant. Let's bring that forward. Okay. Now we just need to figure out these guys down here. So I feel like there are some really resonant frequencies in here that just kind of poke out. Let's see what it is. It's like right up here around. Okay, and then do a little bit of compression. Here we go. Dude, we're killing this one. We might try compressing this piano a little bit. Let's try some compression, then maybe some EQ. Ooh, this feels very lush when we compress this. Just some of the big parts that really jut out, you know, we're kind of clamping. Now I think we could probably afford to bring this back a little bit. might kind of preemptively take down a little notch around here. This is where a lot of vocals are gonna sit. We don't want to make too much of an adjustment, something slight. And then we turn it up a bit. Okay, we're getting closer. Getting a lot closer. Might tuck this back a little bit further. Maybe bring forward these vibraphones though. Yeah, that sounds really solid. Yeah, Jean-Marc says, you know what would be nice on that track? The jazzy brush on the snare. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I'm done with production on this track, so I'm not looking to add anything to it. But yeah, I could totally see it. I feel like I need more of an expansive, like, sample library of snare brushes. You know what I mean? There's not enough good stuff on like I don't know, there's some good stuff on like Splice. I feel like a lot of sample vendors don't quite focus on like snare brush material, but man, it's really solid for this kind of music, you know? Okay, I'm kind of trying to think if there's anything else that we want to touch up, but it's honestly probably time to start on the master. So where are we at? Yeah, we got plenty of headroom here. Yeah, let's start with the compression. We're gonna enable sidechain. I think we can turn down the kick a little bit. You know, I always learn so much about my mixes could probably turn the drums back a little bit. Bring that bass up a bit. Yeah. I see Jean-Marc saying, I went on a download spree last week. Decent sampler, sound paid, Purity. Oh, hell yeah, man. Yo, what do you think of Purity, by the way? I feel like that's a plugin that not many people buy, but I love it. I swear by it. I've been using it, and like, I've built so much of my sounds off of presets that I found in there. So, like, I don't know. I'm curious what your experience with it has been. Like, it's not super fancy sounds, but like, I just find a lot of uses for a lot of the stuff in there. Okay, I think we've kind of tweaked it in a way that feels nice. Okay, we are definitely compressing quite a bit here. Maybe we can bring down that bass a little bit. Especially if, I don't know, let's hear Oxide on this, but I just predict this is going to be way too much. Oh my god. I think we skip on Oxide on this one. It's just too much in the low end. Well, maybe. It just gets quite intense down there in the lows. I don't know, fuck it. Maybe we get a little crazy with it. But I think this means we might be using not much of Little Radiator. Oh, I say that, but... But yeah, Jean-Marc says, so far I didn't use it, but I like those raw, good sounding plugins. You add delay, reverb, saturator, and you get amazed. Absolutely, man. No doubt. I don't think we want to go with the bias on this one. Okay, now let's pull out the 610. Damn, this is booming. All right. Now we just got to see what our max peak value is. And we'll start feeding it into the limiters. That car windows be booming. Yeah, no, absolutely. This is like a rattle the car windows type beat. And then we just need to throw a nice curvy fade out on this guy. Yeah, nice and curvy. We like that. Okay, I think 3.65 is our max peak value. Let's pull out a utility. Give ourselves a little gain knob. We're going to say 3.65. We're going to lay down a limiter. We're going to go true peak. And let's see how close we are before we pull out our maximizer. We're getting close. Man, the bass is just booming. I love it. Man, I love the reverb on these drums. Like, this feels great. Yeah, looks like we got a good ways to go, so let's just get started on it. We're going to use Ozone. We're probably just going to run it back to the beginning. And a little loudness warning. This might jump up in loudness, but let's find out. All right, let's run it. I don't think we need that lift. Maybe a little lift up here. We're going to slow down the rate of limiting. let's run it back. We're going to still be listening for, you know, artifacts and stuff like that. But I'm curious about our max peak. Oh, we're probably overshooting it. We'll see. We might be close. This is such a cool track. I hope somebody does something great with this. So peaceful. I agree, man. This is hitting so nicely. I think that we do have a little ways to go. Shouldn't be too far though. Yeah, like half a luff's to go. So let's pull back on this threshold a little bit. We might need to slow down the rate of limiting a little bit. We'll see. No, this sounds good. Let's run it from the beginning and see where we're at. 10.6, minus 10.5, 10.6, 10.5. Ooh, I think, yeah, minus 10.6. You know what? I will take that. That is such a good mix. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that one a lot. I like it a lot. Hell yeah. So, guys, man, that's like right in time. It's 4:01. It is time to hit the road. So thank you guys so much for watching, for keeping me company while I throw myself at these mixes. Yeah, that first track is going to be coming out on Spotify in 5 weeks. It's called Blue Heron. Definitely keep an eye out for it. And then this one is going to be hitting my BeatStars sometime soon. So thank you guys again for watching. I appreciate all of you guys that were hanging out in chat, all of you guys that were lurking. I appreciate you guys as well. And yeah, I will see you guys on Saturday. Just one last reminder. I have an album coming out, 7 days, 5 hours, 58 minutes, and 57 minutes and 56 seconds. There we go. Yeah, definitely check it out. And I hope you enjoy it. I really do. But yeah, I'll be live again on Saturday doing a Saturday morning cook-up, and I hope to see you all there. Cheers. Cheers, Signature. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you, Jean-Marc. Thank you, Ethach. Yeah, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Chocolate. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.